the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Well, welcome everybody to another episode of CorbinCenter. I am getting ready for heading out to one of my favorite places to wrestle in, and that is going to be Las Vegas. But first of all, let's do a big shout out to somebody who I feel like has been down with me from day one since he discovered me in Vegas, and that would be Brad. I got to give a huge shout out to you. You have been such a supportive person. You have been great. You've been a Patreon. You were always there for PPW. I really enjoy watching how PPW for Paragon, for those of you, how Brad, you have followed the careers of many of those people who have come through there, because you have taken such a big liking and we're such a huge support system, and it always means a lot. And still to this day, after everything that what is it now, 6 years ago, that you're still such a big part with your support for me, and I cannot thank you enough. So my shout out goes to you, because like I said, I am thinking Vegas, baby. I will be heading out to Vegas later today, which is great, and I'll be returning to the Level Up Expo for Versus Pro. And Versus Pro has been a company that I have worked for quite a bit, so this is a company that I have really enjoyed. This will be my third time being out here. It's always easy, smooth sailing for this one. Gives me an opportunity to go back out to Vegas, and you know I love Vegas. A lot of people always ask me, Corbin, you don't drink. How can you like Vegas so much? The food, the lights. I gamble a little bit, I do, and I love to wander around the strip. There's just so much going on that I just have a great time out there. And plus, when I get to wrestle and see people I haven't seen for a while, speaking of PPW, Mikey O'Shea and Caleb Conley are going to be there, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, and hopefully I'll see more people. I haven't seen who's all announced yet, but those two, last time I did wrestle Mikey while I was out there. I'm very excited for this event, and I always look forward to what's coming up. And we'll talk more about the upcoming schedule, and we'll talk more about what's coming up here in Vegas, but kind of recapping what happened in the past week or so. As you know, I made my return to Freelance Wrestling, and it's been September since I've been out there, and I was a part of a gauntlet match where Storm Grayson would end up having to go through me, GPA, all to get to Robert Anthony to be able to challenge for the championship that he lost back in August. So here's the deal. A lot of people were like, you returned to Freelance, you weren't triumphant in your victory, you lost to Storm Grayson, who, by the way, would go on to win the championship and have quite a night, quite a story. Yeah, beating 3 former champions. Congrats, Storm Grayson. But let me put something out there for you. My nickname is the Loudmouth Mercenary, and what I've always used to say is that I get paid a lot of money to run my mouth, and Freelance is one of those places where that all started. And people get paid a lot of money to try and shut me up. Now, my goal here is I was a hired gun to take out Storm Grayson's knee, and I did my part. Now, even if I would have won, would I have gotten a title shot on that night? No. Would I have been considered for a championship match down the road? Yes. Do I think I deserve a championship match down the road? Yes. Do I think I deserve a championship match regardless of what the outcome of this match was with Storm Grayson? Yeah, I do. I've actually been kept from getting a championship match for a long time, and in that time I filled the gap by being part of the longest reigning tag team champions at Freelance. So I definitely think I belong there, and I did what I was supposed to do. I went after Storm Grayson's knee. I made it harder for him to compete, and it is not my fault that the other two could not capitalize on that. And I'm just going to throw that out there. I did my part, so do I see it as a loss? I do not. So anyway, I did release another video here for my upcoming match with Pro Wrestling Battleground with Shane Black. We will have our singles match. You can check that out at my YouTube channel, so I have put that up. Also coming soon, you'll see a little bit more with the Trivia Tuesdays. I have a lot of stuff coming up on my Patreon all ready to go. Should be finishing another virtual run with my Yosemite run here coming up. I'm in the final, I think, 20% left, so I should have that. I signed up for the hot chocolate 10K run, trying to get back into those. So that will keep everything up there. And my schedule is starting to fill. I'll be announcing more of it over at my Patreon, and then as it comes up, coming here for the months of the spring and summer. But I'm going to be busy with all things considered. But in the immediate future, here's where you can see me. So obviously I'm going to be at the Level Up Convention for 3 shows. I have that one. Pro Wrestling Battleground. I will be wrestling Shane Black, as I talked about. Now, March at the beginning seems kind of quiet. And I do have First Wrestling at the VFW. I will be making my return to FSCW for GalaxyCon in Richmond. Got my license, got everything all taken care of. I'm ready to go for that. And then there is going to be a couple announced that will be up there, and you may have seen some events for April that are still to be determined on my schedule. I will announce those when they become. We'll talk more about that. Now, all things considered, there was one thing that I want to bring up that was an interesting point that I guess kind of touched base or touched a little bit with my post-injury. I saw a post that I felt got a lot of interesting attention, and I thought that this was great. So, in referring to, as you noticed, since I came back, I recently, for those of you who have been under a rock and have not been paying attention, I broke my clavicle on my left side. Now, as a result, everything healed up pretty well. I missed exactly 3 months, which is superhuman. Call me John Cena, but I missed only 3 months. And I was expecting this to be way worse. The only thing cosmetically is there is a separation here where my actual collarbone sticks out a little bit more. Now, in that time, you've seen me wear this brace that has covered this athletic supporter, and here is my favorite part. There was a debate on this where it was basically comparing these athletic braces to being like the new kick pads of the indies. And yes, I'm not going to lie to you, I saw the brace first on Connor Hopkins, so I'm going to give him the credit on this one. But when I picked up this brace, the main reason I was trying to do it is because what it was supposed to do is it was supposed to hold everything in place. So the biggest thing is like it would keep my shoulder up, and as it was healing, and when I was doing any activity, it would keep it all together. So the fact is it wouldn't slump, it wouldn't slouch. It was able to keep it where it would need to be. And so, you know me, I go running, I would walk and run, and for the first couple times, it would keep my shoulders where I needed to be. And now that I have that little bump there, I've put it on as a protector. And so I think the thing that is nice with that padding is it gives me a little bit of a cushion. Now I saw some people defending it, and it's like, well, what is the reason for having it? Is it actually genuine? Or one of the debates that I saw was, well, if I see you have this brace and a lot of people have shoulder injuries in wrestling, is it that many people have shoulder injuries? The answer is absolutely yes. Do we have injuries in general? Yes, but if your knees and your shoulders aren't bad by the time you're done wrestling or even into your wrestling career, you're not working very hard. That's how that, in my opinion, that's how that boils down. Second, I saw a couple people post that they're like, that's the first body part I'm going to target. I'm going to go right after that injury because that's an injury and da-da-da-da. So when Austin wore his frickin' knee braces, what are you going to do there? Look, Austin had a bad neck. He didn't wear a neck brace, but I know that his neck is bad. He wore knee braces. Tons of wrestlers wear knee braces. Why don't you just attack their knees every single match? Why wouldn't you even attack the knees all the time? Why wouldn't you try and actually attack or single out a body part? And a lot of it was, there wasn't one individual point that really came up in this conversation, but I saw that. And it was like, so you think that because I have the brace, that's the one you're going to go after? Well, heck, what I'll do is I'll just put it on the other arm. You won't know any better. You'll go for that. And because I'm left-handed, I'll be able to do a nice, easy reversals, put you into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Easy, simple stuff. But I didn't really get that whole concept because the idea of, yes, I'm wearing a protective brace. Now mine, I don't know if you know this, but I do the spear with my left. I have not shied away from doing the spear. I've not shied away from doing clotheslines with my left. The brace is there to protect the bone so I don't bump that or bruise that. That's what it's primarily what it's there for. So that's why I have this brace on, and plus cosmetically underneath over my tank top and underneath my singlet, it stays perfectly where it needs to be. So yeah, go ahead, try and target it. It's totally fine. I mean, look, I can still do stuff. It's not like it's hurt. And if you're going to put extra effort into it, go right ahead. And then the other thing, too, is kind of like, man, a lot of these guys, like they said, maybe heal up or maybe take some time with the shoulder brace. Well, I'm sorry, man. But a lot of us, when people were like, maybe just take the time off. We don't. Show me a wrestler that is working consistently and that isn't wrestling hurt, and I will be literally shocked. I won't be able to I would be amazed if there was somebody who went out there every single day and didn't have some kind of nagging injury. Because I even remember before I did this, I was thinking about taking some time off because it was my elbow. By the way, I had a sleeve on the whole time to protect my elbow from getting bruised up, but nobody targeted my elbow. So my elbow got bruised and was banged up and got hyperextended. And I was thinking about taking the month of November off anyway, and this just kind of sped up the process. I've worn an ankle supporter for a long time. Basically, I'm just giving you all the credentials of the long list that you can try and go for, and that's totally fine. Also, I'm very sensitive to groin shots, so if you want to try and hit me in the dick on that one, I don't even wear a brace or an athletic cup when I'm out there. And that's normally one of my main offensive weapons, and I target that no matter what. If somebody doesn't have to come up to me and go, oh, I had a vasectomy recently, or I just had a botched circumcision, I'm still going to kick you in the groin regardless of whether it wins me a match or not. So I'm just backing the train up here. Some of the stuff that I saw that I thought was a really interesting like counterpoint or where to go from it. But over the years, let's just say the list of actual injuries or nagging injuries that I've had is long, and mine is not as long as many other people, and mine's not as severe as what a lot of people wrestle through. So with that said, that was my debate, and that's why I'm going to continue to wear it. And if I could wear one on the other side, I probably would too. It would protect everything. I had a double brace, but it just didn't work. So I want to leave that as my little debate here, is that I want to kind of wrap up and talk there. Nothing was in my mailbox, but I'm sure that on the next Corbin Center, we're definitely going to have a lot more to talk about. And I was really happy to see that episode 4 got way more views than episode 2 and 3. It was well on its way to 100. So let's see if we can keep that rolling, and stay tuned because we got more Corbin Center to update you on.